brought with me my life box. My life box. Every single thing that every living organism, and an organism is any living thing on our earth, whatever they need to survive. And so that includes you, it includes my plant that I brought, it includes all of the microorganisms on earth, and all of the funguses and all of the other living kingdoms. And I'm sure you learned about that. We're not just all plant and animals on earth, are we? There's other living organisms too. But we all depend on what's in my life box. So I have some really, really important things in my life box. And I'm going to pick on these 4 right here. And they're going to peek in my life box. And they're going to tell me what they see. Okay? And then you tell me if you agree with what they see in my life box. So you pick up the cover and look at my life box. Okay? Okay. Did you see what's in my life box? What did you see in my life box?
A water bottle.
He saw water. Is water really important for life on earth?
Yes.
Absolutely. We wouldn't be able to live very long on this earth without water, would we? And that's why you went to the water festival. And that's why we are really working to bring more knowledge to you today. So yeah, water was in there. What did you see in my life box?
Water.
You saw water too? Did you see anything else that you kind of remember?
Oxygen.
Did you see oxygen in my life box?
Well, there's air in the box.
That is brilliant. That is brilliant because he's absolutely right. That needs to be in my life box. Not just oxygen, but what did he see? He said something really important. And he didn't see it, but it's in there. It's what, everyone? Air. And actually, of all of the things in my life box, we would not be able to live on Earth for the shortest amount of time if we didn't have air, right? So good job. That is in my life box. What did you see in my life box?
Soil.
You saw soil. Were you surprised to see soil? No, not at all, right? Because we need soil. We're going to talk more about each one of these things. So he saw water. He knew there was air in my life box. She saw soil. And what did you see in my life box? Did you see anything new in my life box besides water and soil and air? Nope. Because what was really obvious in my life box? For sure, you saw the water, right? Yeah. And because you're older and wiser, you saw the soil, but you knew there was air. And also, what else is needed for life on Earth that would be in my life box? Anyone have any idea? Food. You know what? I'm glad you said that. Because the things in my life box are needed for food on Earth. They're all needed for food. But water, soil, air, and of course the next ingredient that's in my life box, especially when I open it, is needed to make food. So thank you for commenting about food. What else is in my life box? No, no, but these things in my life box are needed to make plants or to help plants grow and live. So that's not a bad answer either. I like the risk takers in here. We're good learners when we're risk takers. What do you think's in my life box? Something the what?
Sun.
Oh, do we need the sun for life on Earth?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that is right. We have what kind of thing from the sun in my life box, everyone? Light. That's right. So the 4 things in my life box, and we're going to talk more about these 4 things when you get to my station today, is depicted on this trifold. So here are the 4 things. Can you all see them? Air, water, light, soil, and then on the bottom, I put food. Because all of these things on earth are to make food. And we're going to talk today about the food chain, the interactions of plants and animals, and how we're important to one another in a lesson that I'm going to do with you, or a station I'm going to do with you. Oh,
Rocks.
who put this on my table? I bet it was you, because you look really smart. This does belong on my table. I could have had this in my life box. What is this? This is a rock, that's right. Why could I, what a genius.
What can I say?
Any idea why you put this in my life box?
Well, couldn't it be part of the four elements? Like
Absolute-
water, earth,
Absolutely. This is one of the four elements, absolutely. Anyone have any idea what one of the four elements this is a part of? Does anyone have any idea? What do you think? Yeah.
earth.
That's right. These are all important things on earth that we need to survive, right? That we need to live. Good answer. But this is actually a parent material. This is the parent material. This actually is what is weathered down into what? Any idea? What was in my life box? The little tiny piece of, what?
Soil.
Ah, good job. Good job. Absolutely. I could have put this in my life box because this is the parent material of soil. When this gets broken down, which you have been studying, I was so pleased to come and see that you still had the final days of one classroom's their plants over the soil. Because the roots of plants and wind and water cause erosion, don't they? So when we have ground cover, that prevents our soil from blowing away. But also, it breaks down rock, it's called weathering, and this then eventually, after many years, is what is the parent material of soil. So this really could have been in my life box. Okay? So we've got the four things that I had in my life box. We have air, water, light, and soil. And with those four things, we have what we call a process where there's a special living organism, and I'll give you a hint, it's green, that is able to take these four things from our earth and our world and make its own food. What do you think that living organism is? Yes, you and the orange. Yeah, what living organism can take these four things and make their own food? Because you wouldn't be able to go into the kitchen, or you wouldn't want to, and take soil and water and sunlight and the air and make something you want to eat, right? But what living organism does that? Absolutely, absolutely. And remember I told you that I was going to talk about the food webs or food chains? This living organism that I hold in my hand is the producer of every food chain. In other words, it's the beginning of every food chain on earth. Because it can take the four things that I had in my life box: water, soil, air, and sunlight, and it makes its own food. Later on, when you come with me, we're going to talk about how the plant uses those four things to make its own food. And we're going to talk about how humans or animals take those four things to survive, and the interactions of both, and how our Earth system works. Because the four things in my life box are actually what we call a system. They all are working together to produce food and life on Earth. Okay? So I'm going to ask you a really good question, probably one of the really important vocabulary words that I'm going to talk with you today. And what is the process where plants can take the 4 things that were in my life box and make their own food. We call it what? Do you know what that's called, where plants can make their own food?
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. Very, very good. Photosynthesis. And photosynthesis, do you know what photo means? What is photo? Like, for example, we take photographs, right? Would we be able to take a photograph in a totally black room?
No. I mean, you could.
No. So photo, what do you think means? Right, absolutely. So you know what? Someone said something, it's really important that we have the sun, our nearest star. And the sun is what we call radiant energy. And the sun has many cycles on Earth that we can give credit to. The water cycle that we've been talking about, photosynthesis, the making of food on Earth, none of those kinds of things would happen. Even weather. Weather is due to the fact that we have the sun. And so photosynthesis means that this process of the plant making its own food gets energy from the sun. And that's called radiant energy. And I always like that word, radiant, because all of us like to be radiant, right? We like to shine. We like to really think that we let off some kind of light to others in the world. Well, that's actually what the sun does. So what these plants do is they're able to change radiant energy from the sunlight into chemical energy. And they're able to make food. So we're going to talk a lot more about that later on. So right now, I have no idea how much time I've taken.
You're done.
I'm done. I was warned that I needed to be done at a certain time from all your adults in this room. So anyway, now we have 4 fun activities that we're going to do with you for the rest of the morning. Okay, thank you. You were wonderful.